I'll start off by saying right off the bat that I'm not a hardcore gamer. In fact, there are many classic games I need to catch up on. And on top of that, I'm really not that into fighting games. If it wasn't one of those DBZ Tenkaichi games, or maybe Soul Calibur, I probably didn't play it. I did play one of the old school Mortal Kombats once or twice in an arcade or pizza place at some point. Anyway, I don't know if I'm much of an authority to talk about this, but for a long time, in the history of video game-based movies, one reigns supreme. This was, of course, 1995's Mortal Kombat! Sonic the Hedgehog has gotten a lot of positive feedback, but they take the characters in that film and sort of fuse them with original material based around an entirely different story. Mortal Kombat took the limited story of the first two games and followed it pretty closely. It built upon the character and lore of those first two games, and had a bunch of fight scenes. So honestly, although I'm not much of a big fan of the series itself, I've always kind of loved this movie. Now let's see.
Your brother's soul is mine.
Your brother's soul is mine. Shang Tsung is such an awesome bad guy. So evil and clearly loving it. He's also kind of charming. He's pretty into Sonya Blade and is pretty cool with Johnny Cage. He just hates Liu Kang. Probably since he knows he's a threat to him, being the chosen one and all that. He's probably my favorite thing about the movie. The other actors do decent jobs, with Robin Shaw selling the dramatic moments pretty well, with some humor thrown in there. Of course, Johnny Cage is the relatable one with the jokes, kind of a stand-in for the audience. He's that Han Solo, Dr. McCoy, Krillin member of the group, I suppose. Oftentimes my favorite characters. Plus his introduction is so great. I want to see those movies Johnny Cage stars in. They could be some fun movie nights.
Let's dance.
Clearly some jokes about the filmmaking process were in there too. The fights themselves are actually pretty well choreographed as well. I think the best fight is a toss-up between Johnny Cage and Scorpion and my personal favorite, Liu Kang versus Reptile. Sub-Zero is fine, but he kind of goes to his special move too soon. He's kind of a cheater. Yeah, I'd probably say Liu Kang versus Reptile. I've always liked Reptile. No real reason. I guess I've just always kind of liked lizards. I guess. Goro is also a really good animatronic achievement. Pretty impressive for the time. Overall, there was a great deal of effort put into the very stylized look of the film. It's one of those movies you can look at it and say there aren't too many other films that look like this one. It's very unique. Even the CGI kind of works, although some of it's ugly. I think it kind of fits into the tone that they go with Outworld for the most part. For instance, Reptile is sort of an otherworldly being, so his kind of off-putting CGI with the camouflage nature kind of worked pretty well for the creature overall. It definitely seems strange and very otherworldly. So I accepted it. All in all, it really works for the atmosphere of the set design, which is another strong point of the film. The sequel, though, that's another story. I also think Christopher Lambert's Raiden is pretty cool too. He's got some good one-liners in there.
Don't tell me you're afraid of simple beggar.
This is probably my favorite role of his. Yes, maybe even more than Highlander, I know. Check out Fortress though if you've never seen it. I even think the arc with Liu Kang's character works fairly well. Believing in yourself, learning to forgive yourself, that sort of thing. Then there are some things that are a bit weak. Johnny learns not to run into fights by running into a fight. But for selfless reasons this time. Oh. Sonya asks for help by being kidnapped and not really being given much of a choice there. Katana's parents were murdered and the Emperor adopted her so she could inherit the throne from him? Why? She clearly has motivations against him then. Why is she even allowed to fight in this tournament? Wait a minute, why doesn't Shang Tsung take her soul when she loses to Liu Kang, or was that a draw? He never let anybody else off that easy. Is this explained in the game anywhere? Does Shang Tsung not know what a flawless victory is? Even I know that much about Mortal Kombat. I think he got hit a few times, didn't he? Tell me he didn't take any damage from that? Not even a little bit? Remember that guy we just met? Art? Yeah, Goro kills him. No. We care because... nice guy, I guess? I mean, he was nice to Johnny Cage. That's something. Look, I never said some of the movies I enjoy don't have problems. This one does for sure, but the fight scenes, the music, and the overall set design are really pretty fun and unique and interesting. There's enough story here to drive them to the fights, which is pretty much what the audience is there for. and there are mostly pretty decent performances with some good elements of drama and plenty of humor. This movie is a great deal of fun, and I can pop it in any time, and it puts a smile on my face. Well, that's Mortal Kombat. Thank you for watching.